What is happening, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. I got my coffee, and I did just quickly head out of the main hall after last episode. I figured I'd chit-chat to our companions, and I was greeted with all these chests and whatever's going on in the middle of there, so... You know I'll be reading and looking at these. Command Armour note. I guess this chest got lost in the Fade, and someone shepherded it to our doorstep. Is it just me, or does the armor look somehow familiar, like something an old friend would wear? Pardon. What is that? Whoa, where did that even go? Huh. We definitely got something new, though. I guess that's a transmog, but I don't know how to transmog anything. Perhaps it's this. Another surprise gift. Another chest washed up in the lighthouse. Not sure whether it's just luck, or if we've got a friend out in the Fade who wants to help. Neve. That is Dragon Age 2 armor. Kirkwall's finest. Okay. The Caretaker's Workshop. Upgrading your equipment at the Caretaker's Workshop will increase an item's statistics. Finding another version of an existing item, or purchasing it from a merchant, will increase an item's statistics while also unlocking new properties. Pursue both paths to increase your equipment's full potential. Empowering the Workshop. Collecting mementos out in the world will let you upgrade the Caretaker's Workshop. Upgrading it will increase the number of enchantments on offer and increase the power level of all weapons you can find or purchase while adventuring. Okay. Often. Okay, but I clearly got transmogs. How do I... Okay, I guess I'll have to look into that at some point. Because I did clearly, like I said, I did clearly get transmogs. Neve is up top. Go talk to Neve. I would guess that I'm gonna get access to a transmog at some point, just not yet. But because I'm playing the game late, I already have what it takes to get it. Nothing with Neve.
Couldn't be one god, it had to be three.
Yeah, you're telling me. Maybe I need mementos to unlock the transmogging. Talk to Harden.
Toldar, it's a tunnel. Veilguard, Velos Atreitum. But Velos Atreitum is nothing like Isatunal.
Isatunal. I remember. After you touched the dagger, the prayer, the proclamation, Isatunal. What exactly are you proclaiming?
They don't remember. No one remembers. We don't even know what we lost.
Am I interrupted?
You're busy. I shouldn't interrupt.
No, wait, sorry. Please stay. We can talk. About the stone. About Isatunal. Maybe explaining it to someone else will help get my thoughts in order.
So what is it? What does it mean?
Isatunal is an affirmation, a statement of existence, of being. It means, I am here. But no, not I. I is singular, but it isn't. We either. We as multiple, but also separate.
What?
Isatunal is the eternal hymn that encompasses all time. All spaces. I am, we are, this and that, here, there, now, and forever.
What's important is that you're happy.
Rook's like, I don't know what any of that means, but good job.
Right, maybe.
That's the most head pat response I've ever seen anybody give in a video game.
The dwarves once were. But none of the books say anything about it. None of the histories are right. If we forgot something so important, what else did we forget?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I don't expect you to have an answer. Thanks for letting me babble, by the way.
Anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Not like we're currently busy. Just hanging out in the home base. Anything I can do to help my companions, I'll do. Alright, let's head back. See if we can check in on Varric. It has been way too long since we checked on him, I imagine. You gotta be going crazy, just holed up in here like this with nothing to do. Mirror of transformation. I figured we'd go to the med bay to talk to Solas like it said,
Wait,
but
that room wasn't there before. I don't think.
meditation chamber.
Neville Harding must have put my pack here. It makes sense. Better place to sleep than the infirmary. Guess I can spare a few moments to unpack my things.
I'll hold that thought. We should go talk to Balara too. I didn't notice she was down here. You have anything to talk about, Balara?
Oh, Rook! Hello! I've never seen an Eluvian like this before. Not intact, anyways. Fascinating.
I am not surprised she's setting up by the Eluvian. It's definitely in character. Were you here before? Music room, huh? Memories of a duet. The sheet music left by this instrument appears to be for a duet. It has been annotated by an expert hand. The annotations are accompanied by clear emotional impressions, diligent practice with a ruthless eye to mistakes, the relief of private achievement away from well-meant misunderstanding and mindless worship, an unspoken joy in the center of rising, perfect echoes. Finally, a beloved memory surfaces, a smiling glance meeting at a crescendo, a shared moment of understanding, seeing completely and being wholly seen, the impressions of the fade. Oh, hello, hidden treasure rooms. You don't feel like opening for me yet, huh? Well, there's definitely something behind that because of the audio cue. How about this one? Do you open? Okay, you don't. Oh, I see it lit up. Okay, so we'll keep our eyes open for anything lighting up like that. On Life in the Lighthouse, this ancient logbook is filled with meticulous Veilfire runes. Though it is encoded, flicking through it offers vignettes of borrowed memory. Fearful refugees are ushered to the lighthouse through Eluvians, emerging from the infirmary and libraries as soldiers, spies, and scholars. Gardeners plant long extinct herbs that grow, are harvested, and wither in the blink of an eye. A sharp smell of distilling medicine wafts from a window, and poison for the enemy drips into a vial. The arguments of a war council go on late into the night. Forbidden songs are sung freely, with filthy lyrics substituted for the Evanurus' names. Finally, a heated conversation silhouetted against glass with quick shadows darting between it. Or behind it, sorry. The argument ends with a wordless but unmistakable impression. You summoned them. You feed them. Well, let's unpack.
Every time I look at this, I can hear that little girl thanking me for saving her village from Darkspawn. She said that since the Grey Wardens didn't have griffins anymore, I could have hers. If I hadn't been there, I'd never have met Varric. And never had to deal with the First Warden complaining I ignored orders.
Sounds like I made the right call. I saved the village and the people.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what the First Warden thinks. There's a little girl alive today because I attacked instead of waiting for reinforcements. A peddler gave me this after I saved his caravan from bandits. He told me nobles think of ruling like a game of chess, that each move determined what mark humanity will leave on the world. He had fancy silks from Orlais, statuettes from the wilds down south. I could have listened to stories all night about places he'd been. Now I'm getting to see some of those places myself.
Could be worse. Place is giving us a chance to get some backstory from a character.
Varric and his life lessons. I asked him how we were supposed to stop Solas, and he gave me this. Take a long, hard look at it, kid. It'll always show the face of a hero who can get it done. I don't know if I see a hero's face. But it's a face that's seen a lot. Got a few new scars. Some that show up in a mirror, some that don't. But Varric believed in me then, and he believes in me now. I can do this.
Aye, aye. We will get it done.
Meditation upon the use of blades. Must have read this thing cover to cover a dozen times during weapons training. Working drills until I had the perfect strike ready to face anything. Everything came so easily back then.
Things aren't so complicated now.
That's better. Now, how do I connect to Solas? Just sleep, or
Kinda just one foot in front of the other at this point.
maybe if I clear my mind?
Our path has kinda been laid out before us. Just gotta march down it.
Back so soon. It must have been worse than I had thought.
You can relax with the snark.
But perhaps I am mistaken. You may be here to correct me, to tell me that my concerns were unfounded. Perhaps nothing escaped as you stopped me from... what was it? Covering the world with demons?
You undeniably were doing that.
As you clearly already knew, something did escape. Elganon and Gillenane. Blighted.
Thank you for letting me know.
You'll recall I also said that you don't get to sit back and look smug.
What else could I be doing?
I need to know what the gods are planning.
You are asking for knowledge no mortal in this world is privy to. If I am to share it with you, I need to know what makes you the right person to lead the fight against Algernon and Gillenane.
I stopped you, didn't I?
You disrupted the ritual.
Yeah, I did. Even though I'm nowhere near as powerful as you.
Your plan is to tell me how powerful you aren't?
Back in the Grey Wardens, I was with a group of recruits outside this village dealing with the Darkspawn incursion. Our orders were to wait for reinforcements, but we knew that by the time they arrived, everyone in that village would be dead.
So you led your team of recruits in anyway, collapsing the tunnel and saving the village.
How'd you know that?
You helped Varric pursue me for the better part of a year. It would have been foolish not to learn about who was hunting me.
Then you know that powerful opposition doesn't frighten me. I find a way to get the job done whatever it takes.
I suppose I was not so different when I started.
Started what?
My rebellion against the Evanuris. The elven gods, as you call them. They wish to reclaim their dominion over this world. To accomplish that, they will need two things. First, the Blight. What exists in this world is a bare fragment of its power. The rest is imprisoned, until they release it.
Imprisoned.
I don't understand. Elganon and Gillenane were elves like you, right? Why would they want to blight the world?
It is my fault. As the Dread Wolf, I was a thorn in their side. When my efforts weakened their grasp on the elven people, they grew frustrated, then desperate.
And turned to the blight.
Once the corruption took hold of them, they were blind to its horror. It was just another source of power for them. Now they would blight the world without hesitation, and call us backward and foolish for opposing them.
Like I said, just more jumped up mages doing whatever it takes to be in charge.
The blight didn't escape with the gods?
Algernon and Gillenane escaped largely empty-handed, fortunately. Most of the blight is still trapped in the prison I created ages ago.
So what we saw at that village, that's them not at full strength?
Correct.
What does he mean he imprisoned the Blight? The Blight clearly already existed before his Dreadwolf arc, because the gods turned to it when he became the Dreadwolf. He has the power to stem the Blight.
The rest of the blight is imprisoned? There's more than what's in the world already?
Yes. Centuries ago, the Magisters of Tevinter opened my prison. A tiny fragment of the blight escaped. That fragment grew beneath the earth and led to the blights that have swept across the world. However terrible the blight is now, it is a mere fraction of what we will see if its full power is unleashed.
So Solas is trying to say that the Golden City which the Magisters broke into, if the Chantry is to be believed, is actually his prison for the Evanuris. Which is technically the whole Fade is the prison for the Evanuris, I suppose. But how does that explain the spirits and the demons and everything else? Unless the Magisters, what they thought was the Golden City, actually wasn't. Or maybe the Chantry twisted that way down the line, and it's actually the Magisters just broke into a place of blight power, drawn to it through that blood magic, rather than anything to do with the Golden City.
What would they need to do to free the blight? And how do we stop them from doing it?
They will need to pierce the veil to reach the Blight's prison. My lyrium dagger is one of the few artifacts capable of doing so.
We've already recovered it from the ritual site.
Excellent. Then they will have to make their own. That will give you time.
You said the gods needed two things, and the blight is the first. What's the second?
Followers. They have called themselves gods. And what is a god without worshippers to sing their praises?
You think they want the elves back? I don't think the elven people will bend a knee to blighted murderous monsters.
Agreed. Algernon and Gillenane care little for the elves. They will find worshippers among those hungry for power.
Just like the mayor.
Tyrants and bullies. The cruel and the corrupt, who fear their own vulnerability and seize any chance to feel strong. If you hunt them, they will lead you to Algernon and Gillenane.
Sounds entertaining.
Thank you. I'll go poke at the cruel and the corrupt, and we'll see what we find.
Beveravas.
The lighthouse Eluvian can take you anywhere, if you master its secrets. Have you done so?
Not yet, but we've got one of the Veil Jumpers working on it. She'll get it sorted, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes. I suppose we will. And when you speak with Varric, please tell him that I regret what happened.
What, did you snaked out one of your only remaining friends in this world because you wanted to end it? He quote-unquote took precautions. You have acquired new appearances for your equipment. Appearances can be modified from the wardrobe in your room. Well, that answers all my questions. I was wondering about that. Decoration mode. Oh, I see. So as we get more things, we can probably drop that in. Let's take a look at this. Command helmet. The mark of leadership. An accentuated stripe, the color of blood, serves as a reminder of the lost. Spectre? Are you Mass Effect? You definitely are Mass Effect. Okay. I see what's going on here. Paragon of Leadership. Yeah, that's Mass Effect gear. The Hawk stuff look like. Okay, that's very cool. I don't see why we wouldn't use the Hawk stuff for a while. Consider me sold. I like the way all that looked. Go talk to Varric. Tell him that the piece of shit says he's sorry for almost killing him. Sure, it'll bring him great comfort.
So Solas told the truth about the gods.
You heard? It's bad, Varric. If you'd seen Demeter's crossing...
The team needs to act fast. And it can't do that with me leading from a bed. You've got to take point on this.
I didn't come in here trying to take your job, Varric.
I know you didn't. But it's what the team needs right now.
You sure? Neve got hurt because she listened to me.
Rook, when I put this team together, what did I look for? A detective to find the Dreadwolf, and a scout to get us the lay of the land. Exactly the people he'd expect me to recruit. Disciplined, predictable. And then there's you. Remember when we first met, kid? I watched you lead a few misfit recruits and push back one of the biggest darkspawn hordes I've ever seen.
Just needed to find the right strategy.
And no other warden found it. You stopped that horde. Had to drop a town hall on it, but you've got a knack, kid.
For what?
Finding a way through the wildest shit I've ever seen. With a plan that no one expects. On the best day of his life, Solas wouldn't see you coming, Rook. And don't worry. I'll still be here to talk if you need me.
You know, one thing that is a recurrent problem in these games, and it's not so much a big problem, but the fact that they have decided that each game has to have a brand new protagonist, it's kind of at a certain point you're like, well, okay, where is my warden? Where is the champion of Kirkwall? Where is the Inquisitor? They should be here dealing with this. They're already established. They're already very good at their jobs.
There is something. Did Neve tell you about me talking to Solas in the Fade?
I had some good arguments with Chuckles back in the day. I can't imagine being stuck with him in my head. But how are you feeling about it?
He's an asshole. We do need his help if we're being pragmatic about this.
It doesn't matter how I feel about it. We can't stop the gods without what he knows.
And there you go. You don't have to love him to deal with him.
That's true.
He also asked me to tell you that he regrets what happened. Hurting you, I mean.
Chuckles is sentimental. He could burn the world down, and the thing that would make him cry is a single flower with blackened petals.
Yeah, he likes to pretend that he's a better person than he is. Kind of like Anders. Bleeding heart for all the mages, but then he bottomed an entire city and got thousands of them slaughtered.
Demeter's Crossing was awful. While we were there, we found one survivor, the mayor.
You left him to fend for himself.
Not everyone was happy about my decision. We're just starting out and I'm already losing their trust.
That's not quite how
The
it
key
went.
to earning the team's trust isn't to only make decisions everyone agrees with. It's showing the team that they can tell you whatever's on their mind, even if they think you're full of crap. And know you'll listen.
When I took over at the ritual site, I had to make a call on who came with me to knock over that statue. It was the first decision I made leading this team, and Neve got hurt because of it.
You made a decision with the best information you had. Sometimes you do that, and people end up hurt. Or worse.
What would you have done?
What would I have done? Probably gotten myself killed and failed to stop the ritual if you hadn't stepped in. A good leader isn't someone who never makes mistakes. It's someone who admits when they make one. That's how you earn their trust.
I'll let you get some rest.
You're gonna be fine, Rook. Hey, one last thing before you go. I've been racking my brain thinking of contacts who might help us with these gods.
You got any ideas?
He always has ideas.
But being a leader isn't about having all the answers yourself. It's about knowing who does. Neve has connections to a whole world that Harding and I barely know. Might be worth talking to her.
Will do. Thanks, Varric.
Anytime.
I hope he heals up soon. I'd actually kind of like to have him in the party, honestly.
You can stop fussing over me. Go see what the others are up to.
Well, let me know if you need anything. I have a heap full of sentimental attachment about you. Alright, so we just gotta slide on over and talk to Neve. Workshop. Change monument. Yeah. We don't need to have Fen'Harel here in the middle of this place. You couldn't tell I'm not too big on Solas.
Hey, Neve. Hi, Wisps.
Yeah, they're still here. But you're here for leads. You want allies to go after the gods? I've got places to look, if we can get anywhere but Arlathan.
Valara's working on it. What have you got?
Let's start with the angles we know. The gods are corrupt magic personified. Who do we hire to fight that? First, the Antivan Crows.
You want to fight gods with assassins?
Not just any assassin, their most feared mage killer, the Demon of Virantium.
It's a hell of a title.
Working with a feared mage killer doesn't bother you?
If he doesn't have a contract out on me, it's not a problem.
It's true. They don't tend to care much about much unless they've been paid to care.
Well, I'm sold. Now we charm the crows.
Fingers crossed. The demon got his nickname taking out blood mages and Venatori. From everything I've learned, the reputation was earned. I never uncovered his real name, and there's been fewer stories the last few years, but the crows would know. I can set a meeting with their bosses.
Sounds good to me.
This is great. Thanks, Neve.
It's what I'm here for.
You said the crows were first. What's next?
A trip home.
Back to Minrathous.
Capital city and heart of Tevinter. An empire of mages that knows a thing or two about corrupt magic.
Tevinter Authority.
Won't help and can't be trusted, which is why we talk to the Shadow Dragons. They're a resistance group that fights slavers, blood magic, and imperial corruption. They've got eyes and ears everywhere, including mine. If the gods enter the Empire, we might get something. Besides, I owe them an update.
Sign me up. They fight slaves. Or slavers, rather.
Are they all mages?
Tevinter might prize its mages, but the Shadows accept anyone. We've all got a stake in the cause.
These people sound great. I mean, if they're anything like you.
No one's as good as they seem. But they try.
So we talked to the crows in Antiva and the shadow dragons in Minrathous.
I wouldn't mind checking in on my neighborhood either. If Balara's ready for us.
Yeah. Should check how things are going.
Catching up with everybody. Sea of blood. One more comments from you. Don't flatter yourself too hard. We just met. You're not on that level yet. And so nothing with anybody apart from the quest to go chit chat with Balara. Trying to get a decent beat on all my companions. I think Neve is my favorite so far. The new cast, at least. Obviously, I have a big soft spot for Varric.
Almost there. I just have to... Shit! Sorry.
Can I help?
No, I've got it. Mostly. Mirrors are funny things, aren't they? Reflections. They distort reality, no matter what you try. And there's the trick. Control that distortion.
Didn't take as long as I thought it would.
There you have it.
What is that place?
If I had to guess, it's the Fade. Another part of it, I mean.
Didn't Morrigan say this Eluvian could go anywhere? Didn't think that meant elsewhere in the Fade.
She called it the Veer of Us. Freedom of ways. I wonder...
Morrigan isn't wrong much.
If that is the Fade on the other side, won't it be dangerous? As the Fade often is.
More dangerous than elven gods who wield the blight as a weapon?
Point taken.
Some of the older texts talk about a place in the Fade where all the Eluvians meet.
Crossroads.
A crossroads where you could travel across all of Thedas in just minutes.
Right. We saw something similar when we were chasing Solas. I wonder if it's the same.
Morrigan knows all about the crossroads. There's one thing she's right about, it's that.
And it is not.
Who are you? And how did you get here?
The Wolf's Fang. You carry it now. Old paths. A new journey. Through there. I will wait.
Well, can't tell if that's a trap or not. But we're short on options. One way to find out.
And it didn't feel dangerous, you know? Almost more... sad.
Cautious optimism seems like a good bet.
We have no idea what or who they are, so let's be careful. We need to be ready for anything.
And we still don't know what this Eluvian's gonna do. One of us should probably stay behind in case it closes.
Good point.
Just tell us when you're ready to go, Rook, and then we can figure out what's going on.
A codex entry from that. Magic Dampener Notes. Initial notes on the Dampener's operation. Dampener creates a counter-resonance to the Fade. That's why it's safe to live here. No one's been torn apart yet, that I know of, but the counter-resonance from the Dampener is turned to this specific part of the Fade. The more you move away from this spot, the less effective it would be. There's a theory that every mage has a unique resonance. The way they touch magic is just a little bit different. Theoretically, could you tune the dampener to a person's resonance instead? Make it so they couldn't use magic? Would be hard to figure out someone's specific resonance. Would need examples of their magic. Need a third volume of Harris's collected essays. We'll ask the professor if he has it. Balara. What does that plus sign mean? I guess it just means that they're above us. So we're not going to go into the crossroads just yet, but I can tell you that most likely Balara is going to be the one that's staying behind, because she's the one that needs to mess with these pedestals if it does go wrong. Or maybe we'll give Harden a break. Neve is coming with us regardless. We need to stretch her legs. Plus I want to level her up. She's lacking behind a little. Anyways, this seems like a pretty good place to wrap it up, so I'll probably split it here. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is of course a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you soon with more Dragon Age the Veilguard. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.